Hello, hello, hello. Very quick YouTube on BHF. Also, my dog is like hacking and could be dying while I'm kidding mostly. So if you hear her hacking, that's just her snoring because she's really having breathing issues. Anyway, no BHF deal this morning, no BH deal on Sunday. That surprises me. It changes virtually nothing in my views here. It's just hard for me to overstate how confident I am that a deal is going to happen by earnings on Thursday. I think the stock selling off is insane. It's very hard to do an upside downside here because you have basically four different. I think it's four different outcomes. One is a complete break where the process dies and the stock goes to maybe mid 30s. The second is that Aquarian breaks again, and then you possibly have the Sixth Street bid at $55 that's still in play. The third outcome is um, that the deal is signed but at a price less than $70, that all the $70 price points were a lie, and that Aquarian used the extreme break price to get them to come off the 70 to maybe 65. And then the fourth and vastly most likely outcome is that this signs for 70 by Thursday. So then you have to ask yourself, why didn't it sign as soon as this weekend or this morning? My answer to that is uh, often in these articles they tell you as soon as next week, as soon as Monday, and while more often than not it happens at that time frame, it doesn't always happen at that time frame. Okay, in fact, this author, I went through the last 2 years and he's never gotten a near's deal article wrong. And the last near's deal he did was Goldman Sachs, um, on October 23rd, saying they were near a deal to buy a sporting company. And in fact, I was going to check to see if they bought it today. They have not bought it today. So that said as soon as next week, and it was October 23rd, and now we are 2 weeks out, and they haven't bought the Excel Sports stake yet, or by the whole talent agency. My guess is that still happens as well. So why hasn't it happened? I mean, only people like us morons care the exact day the deal signed. Their real deadline is probably earnings on Thursday, and it's just hard to overstate how bullish the the FT article was on Thursday, and really isolating the history of the FT with this name. They've only published on this three times before. They published in January. They're the ones that broke the process. They published on it in June, where they said that there were multiple bidders for the first round, which was true. And then they published in early September saying that Aquarian was finalizing their equity checks, which I assume was true. They did not publish at the end of September like Bloomberg and Reuters saying they were in advanced talks with Aquarian. Okay. For them to get to an article on Thursday saying advanced talks, nears deal, and 70 after all the drama that's happened with the previous journalists in this name, I don't think they take it lightly. And I think it's all but a done deal as of last Thursday. Again, why we haven't got a press release yet, I don't know the answer to that. But you have to talk about it from context to where the stock is. So the stock's 53.50, and I said earlier it's hard to figure out what the market's pricing in. But if I was going to do the outcome of deal at 70 versus deal with a price cut, the biggest, the most the price I think would ever be cut is the 65, and I think there's like a 10% chance of that happening. So my expected value of a deal is still like $69, a $69 price target. And I'm like a 90% likely it's going to do that, but let's just use the market price. So at 69, I assume it's about a $3 spread. That'll trade 66, and it's 54 now. So it's 12 up, and it's anywhere between, 17 down and, no down if Sixth Street buys them at 55. Again, I don't know how you analyze that, but the market is clearly pricing in no better than a 50-50 chance for a deal right now. And you could also put this on with spreads. I don't really want to give away the exact things I'm doing because I don't want to compete with you in the market for them. But there's a variety of ways to express this trade in November where you will make over double your money if it happens by November and the price is 69. Simple as that. So the market is skeptical. I'm at 90%, maybe 85% since we didn't have it happen this morning or this weekend, and the market's at 50%. Again, the obvious caveats here: this stock has cost me a tremendous amount of money. Um, it's now on the way to being my biggest loser ever, from a dollar perspective, and getting up there with basis points as well. And it hasn't even broke yet. So, you know, take all this with a grain of salt. But I thought I would throw this out there that I am not particularly concerned that we haven't seen the deal yet. The last thing I'll say is about articles. There's no real reason for a new article to come out unless it's saying that the deal is broke, or that they're going to feed another journalist, Bloomberg, Reuters, Wall Street Journal, that the deal is still ongoing and advanced. I mean, they could do that. I don't think it's likely. I think it's more likely we see a deal imminently. And when I say imminently, I mean imminently. You could have a intraday halt, which happened with Endeavor. It's not likely, but those things happen. You could have it happen in after hours. I don't think they're going to be dilly dallying, and they're going to want to press release this as soon as they can get pen to paper. All right, that's all. What a nasty, nasty day. Hopefully, next time you hear from me, we have some deals to talk about. Bye.